So I just got back from a long walk with my dog Willow. Let's go wake her up. There she is. Hey you, what's going on? Are you tired? Get long enough to sleep? Alright. Hey guys, what's going on? For real. So let's do a garden update. I want to show you guys what we've been doing. A lot of progress, a lot of cool stuff. Yeah, the garden's coming along. I haven't posted a video in a while, so I figured I'd show you guys what's going on, and maybe we'll do some planting up some bush beans or something today too. So come on guys, let's go check it out. Cheers, brother. Cheers. This here. Here's some flight feathers. First off, I'll take you guys up to the little potato patch up here. Planted these a couple months ago, and they're coming along fine. Check these guys out. So these are called lindays. I planted these lindays up a couple months ago. Pretty easy, healed them in, not too deep, and then I fertilized them with some fish meal and some phosphate pellets. I don't know, to see if that'll give them enough food for the entire season. What's cool is later on, about a month later, I ended up planting potatoes in a pot, and I'll show you those too. So take a look at those, remember what those look like, and we'll do a little side-by-side comparison of the ones in the ground versus the ones that are in pots. All right, so now let's go over to the greenhouse. What's up, greenhouse? I got it ventilated, got it opened up now. Reason why is it's freaking hot, super duper hot. I got it up to 45 degrees Celsius on some days, and yeah, it's just way too hot. So I'll show you guys what we got going on. In the back, my carrots aren't doing too good back there, but I harvested a bunch of radishes a couple weeks ago. That was fun to do. Lettuce, we're just going through like crazy. What's great about lettuce though is you can just constantly be throwing plugs down, starts throughout the whole entire growing season, and they'll do just fine and keep your family fed, which is pretty cool. And then over here, paprika or bell pepper here, they're doing along. They're coming along pretty good. And then over here, I've got some more bell peppers that are kicking some booty for sure. So I did something that's really hard to do with bell peppers, is that first bloom set that comes up. I'm like, yes, awesome. Flowers mean fruit, fruit means vegetables, whatever. But what I ended up doing was basically just go into these little first blooms. I don't know if you guys can see those, get that focused in. Right here, kind of see those come along and just pull them off. What that does is that will encourage more blooming and more fruiting. So that's the theory behind that. And yeah, so we're gonna see what happens with that. But again, a lot of this stuff here is basically fertilized with the same stuff. Lots and lots of fish meal. I do have some chicken manure from the chickens broadcasted in some of these beds. Some miscellaneous like homegrown fertilizer, chicken manure and grass clippings and stuff like that. But anything that came in with, that I bought and brought in, would have been fish meal and for sure the phosphate pellets. So got some cucumbers back here that are doing great. You can see those guys. Cucumbers are already jamming out. Chinese snake cucumbers. Got some more over here too, doing quite well. And then spinach. Definitely time to start harvesting these. They're getting ready to start bolting. You can kind of see here, they're starting to bolt up a little bit, meaning they're going to start to flower. And I want to get this harvested, and my wife wants to take this, cook it up, and we'll freeze it, and then we'll just kind of like serve it, put it on side dishes and stuff for the next couple. So, and then here's some bush beans that I'd like to get in today. They're actually rooting quite nicely. Got some nice roots getting exposed down at the drainage holes. I actually planted these the same type of bush bean in this bed here, and I did not get them to germinate. And I think it's just because I didn't keep them moist enough. But the temperature was nice, was definitely right where it needed to be, but definitely not moist enough in my opinion. So with these, I'm going to go ahead and plant these up today. Hopefully I'll get around to it with you guys. We'll see how it goes after the quick garden tour, and we'll go from there. Okay, so next stop, let's go check out our garlic and onion beds, which are doing pretty good. garlic are jamming, doing quite well. And then kind of intermingled in this is I've got some broccoli back in the back over here. It's so extremely hard to do, at least in my growing zone. They constantly get those little larvae and they get full of worms and little caterpillars, and it's super hard. So I need to cover those now. They're not covered yet, but I need to cover those probably sooner than later. But what I'm gonna do before I cover them, I'm gonna flip them over and I'm gonna see if I can see any evidence of any eggs that have gotten laid in that area, and then eradicate those before I cover them up, and then just hope for the best and see what happens. Pray to the garden guys that we get some broccoli this year, but in the past it's never been good. We've got some zucchini, yellow zucchini, got some marigolds. It's also a very good organic pesticide. A lot of critters don't like the smell of marigolds. Pretty cool. So more garlic. I don't know, guys. You think I should harvest these? I'm not too sure. I don't think so. I'm gonna hang tight for a little bit. I don't know. If you guys think I should harvest them, let me know. I'll yank them. I'll do what you guys tell me to do. I'm open for any. And here's a small little bed I threw up a couple years ago, and it's got quite a few onions in here and also some more garlic. And I'll get you kind of zoomed in to see they're starting to bulb out, which I'm pretty proud of. Okay, so here's the main portion of the garden. This first row here, I've got a lot of peas. Love eating peas in our house, coming straight out the vine, snapping them. We've got some nice little array of some sunflower seeds, more broccoli, and then I've got some cilantro and some basil sporadically grown in the first bed. Then behind it I've got some strawberries, and then over here, row of kohlrabi. I've got the purple and I guess the white or yellow. And on this side here we've got celery growing out of our ears. We love celery. We eat it with a lot of soups and bolognese and everything else we can imagine, to put it in sauces and everything else. So this plant right here, we are going to devour for sure. We'll harvest this. I'll keep a lot of this in the ground. This is the bulb celery, okay? It's not the stalk celery, it's the larger bulbs. They really do well if you just leave them in the ground. I've harvested them through fall. And they don't get too woody. And if they do start to get woody, the further you peel them back, you get to that heart of that celery, and that flavor is still super good and super strong. And then I've got a couple over here. I've got a couple of these tomato plants. I believe these are indeterminate tomatoes. The reason why is because they're really bushy. Determinate is basically, it's a one harvest. It's just gonna belt out a bunch of tomatoes and then that's it. And so typically they're gonna be kind of a more compact, bushy type of tomato. And an indeterminate is going to be basically, you're able to yield throughout the entire grow season. So it's gonna constantly be putting out fruit its entire life, which is great. And we predominantly use those type of tomatoes in our garden. But I do like the idea of the bush, or the lower growing ones, which is going to be the most likely the determinate ones, because you really don't have to do a lot with them. You don't have to do a lot of trimming and pruning. But what I'm going to try to do this year is, I digress a little bit, guys, but what I'm going to try to do this year is I'm going to do less, maintenance on my tomatoes and just kind of let Mother Nature take its place. I'll do a little bit of pruning here and there, but normally what I'll do is I'll do like single stem stuff, and I spend a lot of time doing that every year. And I just want to see it kind of the difference between years past and when you do now. Maybe this year is going to set a new precedence on my style of tomato growing. So anyways, let's carry on. Got grips of, I don't know if you can see these little chive plants sprouted up, some more paprika or bell peppers, radish row, got radishes in the back, and I've got a couple on the end caps here. I've got a couple little just sprouting, you can see that, just sprouting. Some peas. This is obviously, I've got quite a bit back here, but maybe as long as the weather allows, it doesn't get too crazy hot, which you probably won't here in Germany. Maybe we'll get some more succession to nibble on throughout the summer. I've got all kinds. In a previous video, but I did, not too long ago, I did a potatoes in a pot planting video. And this is kind of this is where they're at now. They're doing really good. They're doing really, really good. So I've got to keep them pretty well watered. They're on concrete and in a container, so the root system is really warm, constantly warm. I've got a nice yellow zucchini going nutty, and I've got some This is a Hokkaido pumpkin. It's that kind of pumpkin that you put the skin on, which is really great. We'll see how it does in a pot. It's experimental, but and then also over here in the back, got some more tomatoes in a pot, and I've got it vined up in this little trellis style thing. And so far they're liking it. Looks pretty good. Pretty much where we're at right now. I mean, you know, everything's starting to green up, everything's starting to bloom. Anybody in the family that's got allergies is knee deep in dealing with that right now. So, you know, with the good comes the bad in spring. But yeah, that's the garden. Oh yeah, and I can show you guys a new chill spot I made. Let's go check this out. So, nice little spot my wife and I like to go and sit back and grab a glass of wine and okay, if you're watching this, there you go, buddy. Thank you. Thank you for the gift. Sit back here, just hang out. Put your feet up. Drink a little bit of wine. Hear the babbling brook in the background. Kids. Hey, Willow. Yeah, that's nice. You know what, guys? Now that I'm sitting here, I don't think I have any motivation to plant those bush beans today, so I'll save that for another video. Maybe do that next weekend or something like that. They'll be okay. I don't know. Once I got over in this little shady nook and sit down for a few minutes, I'm quite liking it. Enjoy my day off before I have to get back to the salt mine. So, all right, guys, all the best. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the update, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Ciao, ciao.